It's safe. What's up, guys? On this episode of Inspiration Nation, we are going to be giving the BMW budget build some much love and upgrade with some stock tech steel braided brake lines. We picked these up off the good old eBay for about 120 bucks for both. So, happy hunting. Now let's get to it. I totally think to do it. The first thing you're going to want to do is get your car jacked up. Now come on, guys. Be safe. Use your proper jack points. If you don't know where the proper jack points are, look them up. Just be safe. And once you get your car off the ground on all 4 jack stands, time to take the wheels off. And you drop it on your cameraman's foot. Now you want to make sure you get your OD headlamp. Link in the description down below. And assess everything. Tools you'll need: an 11mm line wrench, a 14mm open end wrench, and a 14mm line wrench. Now the factory lines have some teeth, so they bite, so all you have to do is knock the little, if yours has the original, what do you call that stuff? It's like the wax to mark it from the factory to show that it's been loosened or whatever. But now, if you have a full system, unlike this car, make sure you put something underneath to catch the brake fluid that drains out. Because you are going to have to bleed your brakes at the end of all this. The top one locks in, but your aftermarket ones don't have no star pattern. So you'll have to use that 14mm wrench to hold it when you're tightening it back up. But back to, now you gotta loosen your factory one with your 14mm. And you can pop it out of the little rubber grommet on the back side there. Alright, and now you're gonna twist the line. Be careful not to get any brake fluid on your paint. It can ruin your paint. Twist the line down for the new one. Now reverse engineer. Thread this one on like that one came off. Which way do I need to go? Now take the 14mm line wrench once you got it threaded in and snug it up. We go with German specs because it's a German car, and that's good and tight. Make sure you take your little rubber grommet and plug it in to that little groove, and then you line all this up. Make sure none of that road debris, clean all that off. You don't want none of that to get down in your line. I like to do it like this. Tighten it up. Tighten it as much by hand as you can. You don't want to sit there all day with a little line wrench. Now this is where that 14mm open end wrench comes in. You want to hold the new line with it. Now, we're going to take this moment to bring to attention, always go over and check your suspension. Because it will come loose. Now I have to check all our ride height and make sure we retighten that. But there you have it. Front steel braided brake line swapped over. Super easy. Just rinse and repeat on the other side. Now let's move to the rear. And clear the dirt divers from your pads. These pads are holding up really nice. Now the first thing you're going to want to do before you start loosening the rear is remove this clip that holds the midline mounting point. Basically a little aluminum, it's a little metal clip that clips onto this, which holds the brake line out of the way of your CV axle. How I like to do it is fight it with a pair of good channel locks. grab and pull. It's kind of a pain in the ass, I'm not even gonna lie. Break your fingers. Ah, like pulling teeth. Little clip. Don't lose that. Now that you have that clip out of the way on the rear, time to take your 11mm line wrench and loosen the top part of the line. Now the 14 line wrench and undo the back part. Be sure that you're going to make a big mess. Now you install your new line. This one's kind of a pain to line up. Yeah. Oh. You gotta go through here. Just take your time and don't cross thread it. 14mm line wrench and tighten. And then route your line. Same as the front, make sure you clean the road debris off of the bracket. Now you got to reinstall that metal clip that's a pain in the butt. All right, now it's on to the bleeder phase, and I've got like my creative artist, whatever. So, simple way you want to do this. You're gonna add fluid in your reservoir here. Now how you want to do it is make sure your reservoir is full, and we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. So you need a buddy to be in the driver's seat. That's my camera guy. While me, the dirty guy, goes to the farthest point away, which is going to be this back wheel, and we're going to go to the bleeder valve. And no, that's not what you think it is. That's my rough drawing of a bleeder valve. Wes, show them what a real bleeder valve looks like. Now what you're going to do is have this fella pump the brakes. Pump, 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 pump. And then he's got to hold the brake down while you take your wrench on said bleeder at the back wheel and crack it loose and let the air come out while he's still holding the brake. You close the bleeder and then he can let off the brake. And then he goes pump, 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 and then he holds it and you repeat the process. You start from the furthest point, so you'll do the rear wheel, other rear wheel, front far wheel, front driver wheel. And you continue to do this until you get no more air in the brake system. It's gonna work his leg out and I'm gonna get gross. Now the biggest thing people overlook when they're going to a track event is brake fluid. You wanna make sure you get a very high quality brake fluid that is meant for racing purposes. If you use a general .4, .5 brake fluid or what have you, you can boil your brake fluid and have brake fade and cause a very, very bad day at the track. So always use a good high quality brake fluid. And if you need help selecting the perfect high quality brake fluid for your car, make sure you check out our homies at TMI Racing Products. They'll get you straight. Now, if you're asking why we're doing this the old school pumpy way versus using one of those hand pumps, one, this is a budget build, and you know, kind of showing you how to do this in the driveway. And two, I have two of those things, and I don't like either one. But I will give you a little hack here. If you get you a piece of vacuum tube, you can put it on the end of your bleeder and put it in a bottle so that it doesn't get everywhere, like all over your shop floor or your driveway or wherever you're doing this. It works. And once you get enough brake fluid in the bottle, if your hose or vacuum line goes underneath the brake fluid, you'll tell bubble, bubble, bubble. And then once it stops throwing the bubbles out, you know that you're rolling good. You've bled it good. So let's get the bleeding. Pump it! Got him slipping.
Oh.
And there you have it, guys. The basic installation of steel braided brake lines on your E46 BMW. Now take your time, check all your suspension, check for leaks, make sure you flush your entire system so that you have a safe budget race car. Now if you need any help finding pads or rotors or any of the high performance brake fluid, make sure you check out our guys over at TMI Racing Products. They'll set you straight. With that, we'll see you on the next one.